If you take a moment to examine a map of Eastern Europe, you might be surprised to discover that Russia shares a border with Poland. This unexpected fact is due to a unique piece of Russian territory known as Kaliningrad, which has a rich and complex history worth exploring. Today we will delve into this fascinating topic and uncover the story behind Kaliningrad's distinctive status. Hello, welcome to my channel, History Channel AI. To understand why Russia possesses Kaliningrad, we must journey back to the tumultuous period of World War II. Before the war, Kaliningrad was known as Königsberg. This fortified city was part of Prussia and later Germany for nearly 700 years. Throughout its long history, Königsberg was ruled by various powers, notably the Teutonic Knights, who left a significant mark on the region. Despite these changes, Königsberg remained predominantly ethnically German, characterized by its German architecture and culture, with German as the primary language. As World War II approached, Königsberg's population had grown to over 350,000 residents. However, the city's fate changed dramatically in 1941 when the Nazis violated the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, leading to a series of Soviet air raids. Although these bombings were somewhat limited by the rapid advance of Nazi forces into Eastern Europe, the Soviets continued to launch occasional air assaults throughout the conflict. In 1944, as the Soviet Union and its Western allies pushed toward Berlin, Königsberg suffered catastrophic damage from a relentless three-day bombing campaign by British forces, resulting in the destruction of approximately 41% of the city's buildings in just a few days. When Soviet troops finally reached Königsberg in April 1945, they found a city largely reduced to rubble, with around 90% of its infrastructure in ruins. Following the war, the Potsdam Agreement stipulated that the Soviet Union would take control of Königsberg for several strategic reasons. This acquisition provided Russia with an additional warm water port, bringing it closer to Europe. At that time, Königsberg was the nearest land to Moscow, not under Soviet control, making its possession crucial for bolstering the Soviet Union's security and creating a buffer zone between itself and Western powers. On July 14, 1946, the city was officially renamed Kaliningrad, and Russian became the primary language spoken there. It was incorporated into the Russian Soviet Socialist Republic, and between 1946 and 1949, a significant demographic transformation occurred as nearly all German residents were forcibly removed. In their place, Russian settlers were brought in. By 1950, the population of the Kaliningrad Oblast had grown to approximately 1.1 million, with half of these individuals being newcomers who were not born in the region during or prior to the Soviet era. In the post-war period, Kaliningrad became vital to the Soviet Union's naval strategy, serving as a major base for the Baltic fleet. This influx of military personnel meant that the region became heavily populated with Soviet soldiers, who were typically loyal to the regime. By the time the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Russians comprised 80% of the population in the oblast, and the vast majority of Kaliningrad's inhabitants were ardent supporters of the Soviet system. Consequently, neither Poland nor Lithuania expressed any desire to claim this territory, nor did they possess the authority to do so. As a result, Kaliningrad remained part of the Russian Federation following its independence from the Soviet Union. Today, the population of Kaliningrad Oblast has decreased to around 925,000 residents. Nevertheless, this territory continues to hold significant geopolitical importance for Russia. It is home to a substantial naval presence, with a large Russian navy stationed there, making it a strategic asset for Russia in its dealings with NATO and Western countries. In essence, Kaliningrad's history reflects broader patterns observed throughout Russian history. The pursuit of warm water ports and the desire to create a buffer zone between Moscow and neighboring countries are recurring themes in Russia's geopolitical strategy. Thus, while Kaliningrad may seem unusual to some observers, its incorporation into Russia is simply a continuation of established trends in the nation's historical and political narrative. Thank you for joining me today to explore this intriguing topic. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to click the subscribe button for more content. Until next time, stay happy, stay humble, stay hopeful, and goodbye.